perform your own CPR. In this episode, I'm going to address how to create your own economic stimulus better than big government can. So, my name's Doug Andrew. I've been a financial strategist and a retirement planning specialist for more than 47 years. And so I've watched many Americans suffer because of ups and downs, recessions, boom times in the economy. And I remember back from 2000 to 2012, in fact, it's referred to in the financial services industry as the lost decade. It's actually 12 years because there are a lot of Americans who were just working hard and sort of following the herd, putting their savings in traditional IRAs or 401ks in the market because they were told, oh, the market always comes back. Now, the problem is most financial advisors, most asset managers are not able to illustrate predictable cash flow or income during retirement. See, Wall Street was built to grow money, but not to create predictable cash flow, because if you ask, Wall Street, when's the best time to sell? They will say never. You need to rethink your thinking. And so about 5 years before retirement, I would teach a lot of people that at retirement planning is something totally different than maybe what you did for your retirement planning. But a lot of people in 2001 to 2003 felt like they had lost their future. They saw $1 million nest egg in IRAs or 401ks in the market dwindle down to 50% of that. $1 million went down to $600,000. They had to put off retirement 7 years because it took until 2003 to 2007 to make back what they lost. See, when you lose 40%, a 40% loss has to be followed by a 67% gain to get back to break even. So that means 600,000 after you lose 40% has to grow by 400,000 or 67% to get back to $1 million. It took until 2007 for that to happen. Then what happened in 2008? As Warren Buffett put it, he said, when the tide went out in 2008, it revealed who was swimming naked, is the way he put it. People were not protected from the market volatility, and they saw their $1 million nest egg go down in value to $600,000 again for the second time in a decade. It took 4 years until 2012 to get back to $1 million. Now, those people using my favorite vehicle, the laser fund, they were not affected by the economy tanking twice in that decade. Many of them, their million had grown to $2.5 million, some even $3 million, earning rates of return in excess of 10% tax-free. Meaning that when most Americans were barely back to break even with $1 million nest egg after 12 years, that's why it's called the lost decade, people using the laser fund had $2.5 to $3 million that could generate 150, 200,000, even 300,000 a year of tax-free income, triple what people were experiencing if they had their money in the market. So, let me share with you how to create your own economic stimulus. So back in 2008, when people suffered up to 40% or more loss, I know some people lost 50%, Obama had just become president and he was passing stimulus packages. In fact, President Bush just before had passed a stimulus package. We see big government try to spend their way out of problems or issues. This is also what's been happening in the years 2020 to 2021 with the COVID-19 pandemic. Stimulus spending. The problem is the government passes trillions of dollars of spending. Where is the money coming from? Now, when government spends money, they have two basic choices. They either print more money, which causes inflation, or they tax people with higher tax rates. And they act like, oh, we're not going to raise taxes on the middle income. We're not going to affect the little guy. We're just going to tax the higher income earners, couples making over $400,000. No, it affects everybody. The hidden tax is inflation, because the little guys, in order to buy gas to go to work or food just to feed their family, when they see gas go from $2 a gallon to $3 a gallon to $4 a gallon, those are like 100% increases in gasoline. Same thing with food. That's a hidden tax. Politicians get away with saying, oh, we didn't raise taxes. Well, they did indirectly, because they're printing money to try to cover the debt. Economic stimulus with big government never works. So back in 2008, 2009, I created a 21-page ebook. It was called Create Your Own Economic Stimulus Plan. Save yourself because big government can't. And as I was revisiting this recently, I realized that it's almost deja vu. The government is trying to spend its way out, and they're trying to pass things as COVID relief, when less than 10% of that multi-trillion-dollar package actually went to COVID relief. The same thing with infrastructure. Very small percent actually goes to bridges and highways. But the government does this in order to try to create artificial stimuli in the economy, thinking that everything's going to be hunky-dory. And it's like a sinking ship that's going down, and they think they're going to somehow make the ship come back level again by adding more and more debt. No, I want you to be able to be protected, to board a lifeboat, so to speak. So let me share with you what you can do to take ownership of your future instead of relying on government to bail you out. So before I share with you why I think the government is like chugging on an energy drink like Red Bull or the like, let me show you how you can learn more. If you know somebody that you should share this video with, please do so. Post a comment, click like, subscribe to this three-dimensional wealth channel. Why? Because I post an in-depth answer to a financial question almost on a daily basis on this channel, and I'm passionate about providing you with insights into opportunities that maybe you did not know existed before. So I want to empower you. I've been blessed and honored in my life to have written 12 books. And some have become not only bestsellers, but New York Times, Wall Street Journal #1 bestsellers in 2007. But my most recent book that's flying off of the warehouse shelves, it's in its 8th printing, 3rd edition, is called The Laser Fund. I don't want to sell the book to you. I want to gift you a copy. It's 300 pages. It's actually 2 books in one. This white side is 200 pages, 14 chapters with all the charts and graphs and explanations of how to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement instead of relying on government. If you're more of a right brain learner, you learn by stories and examples. You flip it over, you read this one, 100 pages, 12 chapters with all kinds of stories and examples of how the Laser Fund helps people prepare for retirement. You can use it for college funding for your children, grandchildren, working capital for business, real estate management. It's like a financial Swiss Army knife. And I want to gift you a copy. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. Now, when the government passes these stimulus packages and they say, don't worry, we'll figure out how to get the money. Hello. I mean, the government spends about $3.5 to $4 trillion just for their main overhead, just to run the government. And that's what they collect in taxes, is between $3.5 to $4 trillion. With the stimulus packages that they have already passed, as of the recording of this video, plus the infrastructure, the Medicare for all, student loan forgiveness and free college tuition and all this, it's estimated they are spending at least 3 times, possibly 4 times what they bring in revenue. Now, if you made $100,000 a year and you kept spending $400,000 a year, how long could you keep doing that? So what's going to happen? It's not going to be pretty. I want to protect you from this sinking ship. I want you to create your own economic stimulus, because when they do it, It's like they're drinking an energy drink. And what happens? You get this temporary high for 2 or 3 hours. Maybe the 5-hour energy gives you a little bit longer. And then what happens? Often you feel sluggish and down and you have a crash. And that's what I predict is going to happen. We're going to have a temporary sort of a high, and then we are going to have a crash. The market, recessions, unemployment, it's going to be serious, and goods and services are going to be double or higher. We're already seeing that in energy, in food, and other sectors because of irresponsible government spending and the printing of money. So, what should you be doing? So, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want you to perform your own CPR. Now, I'm not talking about a heart attack, even though a lot of people feel like they're going to go into cardiac arrest when they realize they will likely outlive their money due to taxes and inflation. CPR is an acronym that I use that stands for Your Own Creative, Proactive Recovery. Don't rely on the government stimulus. Create your own economic stimulus. Create your own creative, proactive recovery. The way to do that is explained in my book, The Laser Fund. This is where you can diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. What causes people to outlive their money? Taxes, inflation, market volatility. Those are the 3 big dangers. You can eliminate those dangers. You can make yourself immune from them by using the Laser Fund. You convert to tax-free vehicles. So if taxes go up, it doesn't affect you. You link your returns to the things that inflate. I don't like inflation any more than you do, but it doesn't hurt me. It helps me because I've always earned a rate of return that outpaces inflation. And then I use indexing so that when the market crashes, I don't lose. I mean, not make very much, but I don't lose. And Will Rogers once said, people get more concerned about the return of their money than the return on their money when things get bad. I like the Laser Fund because it stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. Learn about it. Go to laserfund.com. Contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that expense, and I'll gift you a copy of the book. Click on the link below. And here is to your brighter future to create your own economic stimulus and perform your own CPR, creative, proactive recovery.